Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Windows Longhorn build 3683. This is a milestone 3 build and it was apparently the earliest leaked public build of Longhorn. Now obviously Longhorn being the code name for what would become Windows Vista. It has got quite a few interesting new functionalities. And the first and foremost, as you've probably already noticed, is that it's got this new theme. This is the Plex theme, and if I go down here to properties, you can see we've got this new display properties dialog, but more on that later. So I'm just going to go straight to the classic one. And as you can see, if I go to the themes, you can see here this one is Plex, and there's another one called Plex, which goes back to the old XP theme, which does still work. I suppose that's just in case the Plex theme decides to be so buggy you've got to actually switch back to the old one. We have got the Windows 9X and 2K style classic theme as well. So that's all fine and well. But we've also got, if we go down here and go to properties, you can see this thing here called Enable the Sidebar. Now this is the first ever sidebar that was released into any version of Windows, and it was all working well a couple of minutes ago, but now it's not, so not quite sure what's gone wrong there. If I get rid of all of that and add a tile, desktop manager. Now this is interesting. In Windows 10 there was this big thing about virtual desktops and Linux as well. This has got virtual desktops by the look of it. They don't work, but the idea's there. That's interesting, I never knew that. How interesting. There's also a thing called MFU, which is a programs list that doesn't work properly. Did work properly a minute ago. Not sure why it's not working now. And search text. Yes, that does work. Opens Internet Explorer and searches whatever you want to search. It's interesting. Oh, shall we do slideshow? Now this did also work, but it's not, obviously it's not going to work now, because we can't possibly have it working when I'm in the middle of recording a video, can we? That would be too good. But yeah, that's something new I've learned. I genuinely didn't know about that, all these virtual desktops, which obviously don't work, but they're still being developed somewhere. Well, they were anyway. How fascinating. And then also we've got this clock down here, which, it's just sort of like designed around this whole Longhorn theme there, with the codename image in the background of Longhorn. Now, if I go back to what I was showing you just a bit earlier, this display properties dialog, I'll get my homework out for this. Now this was based on a new project codenamed Avalon, which was called the Windows Presentation Foundation once it was actually released. Now it is interesting because I can actually find particularly much information on this, but it's just about the way things are laid out, I think. So yeah, none of it works, well, apart from one bit that I'll show you in a minute. It says functionality under construction on most parts. Now this is interesting. I was having a play with this earlier, and you can see here you can select different wallpapers and things like that. So you can have a solid colour like blue, and then you can have a colour blend. How about use this background? Well, it works anyway, even though there's an error message there. So that's interesting anyway. Oh gosh. So long as it works, I suppose. That's relatively good. Collage. Shall I do a collage? I've just realised what that is. You know, in Windows 8, 8.1 and Windows 10, how I think it's in Windows 7 as well actually, how it switches between wallpapers on certain themes. I think this is where it's first showing up. So we can select all these images. That one from XP that I quite liked. So obviously we can select all these images and then we can go next. Use this background. Oh no, that's not what I thought it was. No, I thought that would be phasing in and out of wallpapers, but it isn't. No, it's just a weird collage thing. Which I suppose is nice if you could put like all family photos up there and everything. Let's just go back to the Plex theme. So that's that anyway, and have another look at this. Now we do have something new. It is IE 6.5. Just another miscellaneous thing there. I don't think that was released in an RTM to the general public or in any update. I don't think anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of course. And let's have a look at the other points of interest, because I think I've went through all the other ones. So the only other points of interest is Windows Explorer is known to crash very often. Obviously Windows Explorer is quite different. As you can see, My Documents has this new sort of fade effect, which is quite weird, and it's got a red line through it. But it's just all weird. It's like My Documents and My Music is there, Pictures. Oh, that's interesting. First time I've seen that. Can burn DVD, create album, view slideshow. None of these links work, naturally. But what would you expect from a leaked build of a very early version of a new version of Windows? My computer, we've got some new interesting Vista-esque thingies here. You can see this weird green indicator bar to indicate how full your disk is. Now that's there for a reason. It's because obviously once you get above 90% it will go red, as it is still present in Windows 10. It does exactly the same thing. The interesting thing is, I wonder if it goes from green to red, or whether it goes from like 75% it goes yellow or something. That would be interesting. Now let's have a look at what else I've got noted down here as well. Yes, many programs that were designed for Windows XP cannot be run on this build unless you use a XP compatibility mode or do something very complicated with the registry, which obviously I'm not going to do something very complicated with the registry because I don't know how. And you can... Well, that's interesting. Look at this. You can make the sidebar go up and you can make it go down. And then if you move your cursor along a bit, you've got this stuff so it can all go to the side. So then you can have your sidebar condensed into just a few things. I wonder if that was going to replace all of this stuff here as well. We will never know. But the clock doesn't particularly work, so it's showing the wrong time anyway. Search. I betcha I know what that black thing is there. That would be a search bar sort of thing, maybe. Because obviously you can imagine you could fit quite a bit of text into there, so you can just search for something and then it'll come up on the web. Don't know what that's meant to be. Probably one of these things that I put up there that doesn't actually work. Oh, that'll be the virtual desktops. So I suppose they possibly would have been able to fit something into there, so you could select them like a big square, and then you can select the little squares which are different desktops anyway. So that's that anyway, and that basically wraps it up for this build. I mean, it's relatively interesting, and I mean we've still got all the old XP icons. All programs, I've just noticed that's a lot bigger as well. That was slightly smaller in XP if I remember correctly. Yeah. And we've still got IDW login tool. What's that? Well, that's literally done nothing. No idea what that is, but that doesn't seem to want to start. An IDW. I can't think of what that would stand for. That's just another thing. If you know what that does stand for, then do let me know in the comments, and everyone else know. And we've also got a new image there. We've got a pair of horses now, instead of the bog standard Windows XP ones. I prefer the aeroplane though. So, oh. Maybe it doesn't want to do the aeroplane. Oh, it does. So, overall this build is weird. It comes up with error messages, and then it actually does what you want it to do. Or most things, anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it's been quite an interesting look into this, and there's so many, well, Windows default preview. There's so many interesting new things that even I'm just discovering now, like My Documents Welcome pane, and then Windows default preview. I suppose then you could just hide it like that, couldn't you? It's interesting. And what are these arrows for? Oh, so you can go between them. How interesting. So that's so you can go between different things. Well, I'm just continuing to discover new things on this build. Now, you can see down here we've got this new white Windows logo as well. That would become a lot more... that would become a lot more... I don't know if popular is the right word. In later builds of Longhorn, they had this weird white Windows logo that was basically everywhere. And in a way, that did sort of make it into modern versions of Windows, because if we think of like Windows 8 and Windows 10, especially Windows 10, like the boot screen, it doesn't have the traditional, obviously, multicolour Windows logo. It just has a blue logo. And all they've done on this is made it slightly more blue, because that, to me, that doesn't even look white. That just sort of looks like a very pale blue colour. So anyway, that's basically it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, you can support this channel not by giving any money to it, but by simply subscribing to it. It's slightly more motivation for me to make new ones anyway. And until the next video, thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.